So a lot of people say Steve and Doris. I say Doris and Steve. And it's and it's not because I don't love and respect you, Steve, but I've known Doris longer. I'm standing here partly because of Doris. And back when I entered the marine industry back in 1988, there were very few of us, and there was virtually no one to look up to. And I had a couple peers, Bernadette Sally Helm, who is still, she's group publisher of Sailing World, Cruising World now, and there was a very tiny band of us, and we all looked up to Doris, and because Doris did, we thought we could. So thank you. You both embody a long list of things, and among them are grace and tenacity and perseverance and leadership and teamwork and kindness and graciousness and things that are so important, and you embody all of them, and you've brought that to our industry for decades and decades and decades. And for those of you that don't know, Offshore Sailing School has been around for a long time. And while they're a supporter of Leukemia Cup and this event, which is wonderful, this is just one of many organizations, causes, efforts, people they have supported along their many, many years in this industry. And I don't think there's many people my age that don't think of sailing and Offshore Sailing School as synonymous. So thank you. Back in 1989, as we all know, the economy goes in and out, and so it does with the marine industry, and we're kind of on the tip of the spear because, believe it or not, regardless of what we think, people don't have to have boats. So the industry goes accordingly with the market, and we were in a place where we just come down, and we were trying to rebuild the sailing industry, and we thought there were too many boat shows, so we thought we needed to consolidate. So a few of us looked around the country, and I'll say in hindsight, got bamboozled to put our hallmark new industry down in Atlantic City, but that's a whole nother story. So we went to Atlantic City, and we built this boat show called Sail Expo, and it truly was a field of dreams. And it was the core of our industry, and it was Everett Pearson, and it was Peter Harkin, and it was Doris and Steve Colgate, and it was Sally Helm. And it was kind of, when I look back, like if any of you built your homecoming float in high school, that's what it was like. We were all in. I mean, we were there with the laborers, bringing the exhibits in. We were designing. Normally, we just show up at boat shows and put our booths together, but this was our show. This was going to be the real kick. And we brought an America's Cup boat. I'll never forget it. We brought it in through the loading doors. She's nodding her head. We brought it through the loading dock in the back of the casino at Atlantic City, and it didn't fit. And so Peter Harkin's inside, and there's a bunch of us on the outside, and this thing is not. And he's like, just pull her through. Well, we did, and shaved a little bit off. So when we did the big press conference the next day, we made people sit over the edge of the boat with their legs so they couldn't see that we ripped the fiberglass off the boat. But I just have so many memories of you two. There's nothing that was below you to do. I mean, whether it was carrying a sign or clearing an aisle or setting something up, and yet here you were, the people that build our industry. So these are some of the greatest rewards I'll carry my whole life, are the people in this industry, and you're two of them. So thank you. I spoke to Sally and Bernadette, and both of them in different words say, gratitude and thank you are not big enough for what you both have brought to their lives and their careers. And they're very grateful. They wish they could be here, and they look forward to hugging you both in the near future. I happened to text Peter Harkin, and I said, do you have a word for Steve? And Peter said, I quote, Steve, stay above the grass. You two inspire us, and I only hope I can look and be as good as you are when I get to where you are. Thank you for leading us and being with us, putting us on the water, and doing everything you do to contribute so greatly in the world. We love you so much.
Actually, Linda, I'm going to ask you to come up in a minute because I'd like to bring up Doris and Steve to join me too. Doris and Steve, you and Offshore Sailing School have made incredible impact on the fight against blood cancers through your donations of sailing tuitions for auctions, your personal donations, and by hosting programs like Fantasy Sail. And I think, as everybody knows in the room, it's not like, oh, we pulled in some boats, you guys just go on them and have fun. I mean, you know, the planning that just went into this thing is amazing, and they just threw everything into it. I know, Doris, you had shared an amount that you thought your organization had raised. I am pleased to say that's actually $175,000, so please come on up. Steve, Linda, please come on up. Offshore.